be back here. I know some of you had a chance to go to the lunch for the WWAMI students, the 21st year medical students who I wanted to congratulate them for going into medicine, but also congratulate the Senate for the wisdom in making that kind of investment in young people from Wyoming. The idea, of course, is to make sure that we have enough people coming back to practice medicine in Wyoming to take care of the patients here. And we know there's going to be a huge shortage of nurses, other healthcare providers over the next 10 years, and the best thing we can do is to make sure that we're training Wyoming folks who then get additional training back here in the state and then come here to live, raise their family. And so I just wanted to congratulate the legislature on that. As you all know, oh, Phil, you get that desk thing going? I saw him Saturday at the chili cook-off, the API chili cook-off in Casper. He said he positively had the desk cleaned by the day. Phil was thanking me for being here, but not for my service. He said, by the way, I kept my desk so clean. It's hard to believe I actually ever served in this next year. And Charlie, I do want to know the answer to what the WWAMI people had to say to you about the changes in the curriculum. Charlie, of course, asked the most focused question at lunch. It was the only question they allowed, which was not a surprise because it took that long to answer. It is wonderful to be here. You know, Cynthia, Mike, and I agree that the training that we got here in the Wyoming legislature was absolutely the best training ground for service in Washington. And we saw how the decisions made here in Cheyenne, what the impact is on people all around the state. And then we think that decisions made in Washington ought to actually help and complement and support the decisions made in the state that impact the quality of life of folks in Wyoming. Regrettably, what we see happening now in Washington is a lot of decisions or executive orders, mandates, and regulations are not necessarily helping people in Wyoming and actually doing more harm than good with regulations, burdensome, expensive, and time-consuming. And what I'm trying to do is work in a bipartisan way with others to, and Astrid and I worked closely together when we were in the legislature, to try to work both parties on things that really matter to the quality of life of the people of Wyoming. And one of those is with natural gas, and bipartisan legislation to allow us to make it easier to export liquefied natural gas. 10 years ago, Hank with the Minerals Committee, we were talking about actually importing liquefied natural gas and building ports in Texas to do that. Now we know we have such an abundance that we can export that. It's legal. It's just almost insanely slow to get the permits to do it. So I have bipartisan legislation to make it easier. Because let's face it, for the state of Wyoming, I mean, we're in a budget session, and Phil's ears always peak up in terms of the cost of some of these things and the revenue. For every 1 cent change in the cost of natural gas, that's $2 million to the Treasury for the state of Wyoming. 1 cent, $2 million. And so it's huge. And if we can be able to export natural gas easier, in a more easy way to our NATO allies, to Japan, and they want it. I mean, it helps us with our balance of trade, it helps us in the state of Wyoming, it helps us with revenue for the state. It actually helps undermine the Russians, who have a monopoly in terms of the natural gas that they provide to Ukraine and other areas of that part of the world. So we continue to work in a bipartisan way on that. The other issue is, of course, coal, another one of our incredible resources here. We cannot allow coal to be a stranded asset, or as some of these fights have gone back a long time. If you read the story of Millward Simpson, Al's dad, who was governor, he said, "I will not let that coal rot in the ground." And so they were having these battles back then. But when you read it yet this past year, we had 3.3% less coal production in Wyoming than the year before. That's 4 years in a row where production is down. And the president declares war on coal. I'm going to continue to work to try to find ways that we can export American coal from American terminals. And we're working on that legislation now and trying to support that. So those are the things that we're seeing with an administration which to me goes beyond what the law would allow by using rules and laws and go way beyond the original intent of some of that legislation. So it's great to be back. Mike, I think, will be here tomorrow to visit. It's always wonderful to be back in the Senate. And, Wyoming continues to be the place, rated the #1 state in many different ways. It's rated in terms of the way where to do business, in terms of the way that the state is run, and it's done with Matt Mead as governor, it's done with Dave Friedenthal, because people in the Wyoming legislature, at least to me, have always worked together in a bipartisan way to improve the quality of life of the people of Wyoming, and that's what really matters. So I just want, we know what works here. It's low taxes, it's reasonable regulations, and it's balancing our budget every year. And Washington could take a lesson from Wyoming. So thanks so much for allowing me to be with you today. I think you still have my phone number, you still have my email. It's all the same stuff that I had when I was in the legislature. And I would just say, God bless you, God bless Wyoming, God bless the United States of America. Thanks for letting me be back.